Hey, what's up, y'all? It's been a little hot minute. It's been crazy the last few weeks, but I figured I want to give y'all a little update for the first month of being a full-time creator, and I have a little Q&A that I wanted to work on and kind of help those who are kind of figuring out what you want to do if you're at that cusp of if should you take the leap or not, and we'll just go through it. So, what finally made me want to take the leap, so to speak, was I was kind of in an unfortunate situation. I think if you see this video, kind of explains the whole situation on the bus driving, but I started to have that friction internally where I was constantly having opportunities, having jobs outside of just driving the bus. And this has kind of worked out where, it was either now or never, because it's the constant, oh, maybe if I just wait, if I keep waiting. I just didn't want to wait anymore. So I'm very impulsive. I'm very impulsive by nature. So whenever I feel something, I try to follow my gut feeling. It doesn't always work out for me, but so far this first month, thankfully, how the school schedule worked, I'd get some back pay because how the schedule works, I was getting paid through the month of June. So I wasn't really stressing about money, so to speak, so far. But so far it's been good. I've been able to work on projects as this kind of dig into what does my creative identity look like and what do I want to do with this channel, with my business. But yeah, taking a leap, it's not easy. It's just a matter of making a decision, because if we think about way down the line of how many decisions we can make, sometimes that stops us from making a decision. And that's kind of how I want to focus on, is just make a decision. Don't worry about making multiple decisions back to back. So that helped me take that first step in taking the leap, as dubbing myself as a full-time creator and wanting to continue to draw closer to that goal, because I really just want to buy back time so I can be with my friends, be with my family, and be able to have these experiences where it's not taking away from what's important in my life outside of work. So that's what I enjoy, creativity, but I also enjoy spending time with the people I care about more. So this is all just an avenue to allow me to do that. Had a little bit of savings before I left my job, but I knew because there was some back pay coming, I wasn't stressing out too much about it. But at the same time, there was a few events that I had coming up too that I usually work during the summer. So I just kind of paced myself out, and I just had to have a little bit of a budget. I cut down some of my subscriptions and making sure what's important to me, and just made it sure I was more comfortable and not worrying about money. Money's always important, but I just had to change how I spent my money, so to speak. But I didn't have a lot of savings, but I knew I just had money coming in at some point, so I wasn't too worried about it. But it is stressful. It's constantly wondering, okay, after this month drives up, where's my money going to come from? So that's really what I have to focus on, is just building out the identity so I can reach out to businesses, brands, or other creatives, so I can keep that inflow of money, because unfortunately the world runs on it, so I kind of need it. The word consistency is such a hard one to figure out for yourself, because consistency looks different from everyone. Like, I got a homie, Kofi, he can crank out videos like back to back to back to back, and he does really good quality, really in-depth videos, but he's creating at such a volume. You're like, dang, that's crazy. I know I can create at a volume for a short period of time, but doing that consistently month after month, that's not the kind of consistency that fits for me. I also got other homies that create like once a month. And at the stage I am right now, creating once a month isn't really advantageous for me, because I don't have the reputation, I don't have that value or expectation of what it'll be for me. So I'm working on creating enough where I can post 2 to 3 times. I want to post at least 2 to 3 times a month, and then get some shorts in at least twice a week here on YouTube. So that's really what consistency looks like for me, because I can do short form videos pretty easily. It's the long form videos where I'm feeling out what is my taste, what is my flavor. And that's the kind of hard part, where being consistent takes time and figuring out what works for you, because you don't want to burn yourself out trying to keep up with the algorithm, trying to keep up with the next creator or the ones that you compare yourselves to, because it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable at all. So figuring out what does consistency look like for you is different, and just try it out. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I've always had to work on posting videos in between jobs while I was driving, and so consistency, I had to be more rigid with how I was producing things, how my processes allowed me to create, because sometimes I'd get back from driving and I'd be tired, but I knew I wanted to keep up with what I wanted to post. So I had to force myself. Now that I have the time, I can adjust my frequency, but I do want to keep up, at least posting 2 to 3 times a month for long form, but also keeping up with short form at least twice a week, 2 to 3 times a week. So that's really where my consistency looks like and what I want to keep up with in the long term, especially when no one's watching, so to speak, because you don't want to neglect the people who are watching, because I hate that phrase. You have to keep consistent when nobody's watching, because people are watching. It just may not be at the scale you wish it'd be, but it's good to appreciate those who are taking the time to watch your videos. And who knows, maybe down the line, that one person who's watched you for a long time, they may be the step, they may be that person that can get you into the next level of your creativity. But it's good to appreciate and kind of cultivate that community while you do have some who are watching consistently. And I appreciate everyone who does watch and who shares comments, and whether I meet you in person or we talk virtually, I really appreciate y'all just being here and watching my videos, because this is a growing phase and it takes time, and I appreciate y'all being patient with me. My mic actually cut out earlier than I thought. So the hardest part about posting, especially you've been doing it consistently for a few months, it's hard to keep going, because it was really a lot of, you kind of have to just know that you're in a marathon, like just how you approach life, and not to get too philosophical on it. You just have to know that, remember what your why is for. Like, why are you posting videos? Why are you showing up every day? Why do you like content creation? Why do you like posting on YouTube? Like, is this, or who you're doing it for? Like, whatever your why is, that is going to have to be the core of your motivation to keep going. Because if you get wrapped up in the numbers and all the analytics, it's going to be one of those things where it's not going to be fun. And if it's not fun, there's no point in creating. Honestly, there's really no point. It was interesting. My homie Kofi, he posted the stat the other day. I'll just put it up here on the screen, that when he first started about posting 4 years ago, before you like really started taking serious, he had like 2,500, right? You see it, and so right now he's just about to he's about to break about 100,000 subscribers. It took him about 4 years to do it. Hopefully he can do it by the end of the year. But that's just to say that a lot of times you're going to be posting and it's just going to feel like no one is there, no one's watching, like the algorithm hates you, all those things. But that's okay, because yes, there are some cases where some people are going to post videos, they only have to post 1 or 2, and they're already popping off. They have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, they're getting brand deals, all these things. But the vast majority of us, that's just not the experience. But the hardest part is you just have to keep showing up for yourself, and keep showing up for the people you're making videos for, whether that's for your friends, whether that's for your family, or whether it's just for yourself. When you show up for yourself, that is what's going to keep going. Because if you believe in what you're posting for, you believe in your why, it'll all come. Because people love authenticity. We're so stuck up in this AI race and all that stuff, but it's really about real people making real stories and connecting, and that's what we really need. And that's what's the beautiful part of what YouTube all started with. It's all about people wanting to share, and that's really what can really open the door for you. But it's going to take time, and you have to be okay with that. And sometimes it just takes one. It takes one view, it takes one person, it takes one comment, and then your life can change. But if you don't believe that that's going to be possible, it's going to be a lot harder to keep showing up every week or every month even, when you make your videos. So you just have to trust the process and be willing to invest time, because that's really what it's all about. And you think about all the things that are famous, like that quote, Rome wasn't built in a day. And that's true. They didn't have power tools back then, and it probably would have been built faster. But besides the point. Just realize that where you're at is probably where you're right where you need to be. Maybe your skill set isn't there. Maybe your vision isn't there yet. There's something missing that's not there yet that's going to help you get to that next step. And when it does happen, you'll realize it was the perfect timing. Everything's just going to work out. So stick to it, keep pushing. It'll all be okay. Okay, sorry. As I was talking about having a good microphone, my receiver died because I didn't charge it, but the microphone lasts a minute. So what are we talking about? Okay, so yes, so I would focus on get a good microphone, preferably a wireless microphone, even though, as an example, you got to keep things charged. But it's nice because you have the freedom to move around. When you have a shotgun microphone, you have to be close to it to have good audio, and sometimes just having the freedom to move around, especially when you're vlogging, is really nice. And I would do a microphone for good audio, and you want to have lighting. You can use natural light, like as I'm doing right now, but it's good to have some level of a studio light that you can use to help light you wherever you're at, whether you're at home or you're on the go. Just having a portable light is important. And that's really probably what I would do before even buying a camera, is audio and lights. That's probably what I would do. And then when you find out when you get to that point where you're tired of shooting on your phone and you have a little extra change to get a camera, I would look at a used camera first, because the term is you want to date your camera body, but invest in glass. So even after getting a camera body, you want to buy good lenses, because that's what really changes a characteristic of your actual footage, is always with the glass. So yeah, definitely would buy a used camera body. And then there's really good ones out right now that really focus specifically for content creators. I think Canon has the Canon 50 or something. I'm not too sure. I'm not a big techie guy when it comes to that stuff, because honestly, I just like to shoot things. So Canon has a really good lineup for content creators. I have a Sony ZV-10 that's really good because it just does the basic needs. I'm getting to that point where I do have to look into getting a different camera body, because I'm hitting the limitations when I'm working on bigger jobs with my camera right now. So that's something I got to look into, but I already priced that out, and it's like roughly $4,200 for the kit I'm looking at. Because I'm looking at getting a Sony A7C II, because it's a good hybrid camera. But I'm also looking at the Tamron 35-150. I went to this camera conference and I got to test it out, and one of the reps was really cool, and she did a whole presentation and the images that she caught with that lens is beautiful, and it's a nice range. It's a little heavy, but I'm more of a functional shooter. Like, if I can keep one lens on my camera and not have to worry about changing things out, unless it's for detail shots, that's kind of the way I would like to go. I go for things, is just kind of keep my shooting simple, where I can just keep going, like the run and gun aspect of filming. So yeah, gear is always a slippery slope, but always you start used, so you don't feel like you're wasting your money when you buy brand new. Just a word of thumb. Okay, this is a big one. How do you find clients? So the short answer is people actually reach out to me, or it's like word of mouth. That's how it's been for me the last month, or pretty much for my whole journey, is like, because I show up online, people recommend me to their friends or ones who know that they need work. So that's kind of what's been working for me. I know that's not super sustainable, but I do know that showing up on all platforms, like I just did a DP job, and someone found me through LinkedIn, and like I don't post on LinkedIn consistently, but they found me there, and I had an opportunity to shoot a brand gig for that. So when you're showing up on all these platforms, you never know who's watching, because people can find you no matter where you are. So that's definitely something I would say. Just get your name out there, kind of how they used to do it in like the guerrilla art world, where you go around posting, putting up posters around the city, putting your stickers on things. Like, you just got to virtually put your name out there, because people will find you. That's not a hard thing. People will find you if they like what you do. That's the other aspect. I I'm getting into posting things that I want to get work for. So that's huge. If you want to get a certain clientele in fashion, sports, food, travel, lifestyle, you just have to post those things so people can see what you can do. No one really cares what you talk about. Like, oh, I would like to do this. I would like to do that. But you have to show up and show what you can do. That's the biggest thing that I've seen. You just got to show up and post what you want. And reach out to people who are around your level or that need help, who are just getting started. They will give you opportunities to get something in your portfolio so you can get that step into making things that you want to make. So start with your friends. I'd say be a little cautious when working with friends, because there is always a conflict there sometimes. But when you have friends who also in the same mentality, they're trying to build something, it's good to reach out to them, because that's what's going to help. You can grow together, and when you open the door for each other, who knows where you can go from there. So I would really think about that when you're trying to get clientele or you're trying to build up, is just look around your circle of who is trying to build something and try to help them out. Do I ever regret leaving my job? No. I'm not perfect, obviously. I try not to live with regrets. I try to make a decision and not worry about what ifs, because I think for me, I grow better when there's change, and I can easily get comfortable, and I hate that feeling of like settling in is good, because at some point you have to settle. You can't be on the go all the time. But I do find that I don't like a routine to where like I'm almost running on autopilot, because that's not really living for me. So do I regret leaving my job? No, I appreciate the opportunity it's given me, because it kind of gave me that confidence of being a working creative. I had a job that took the stress off of creating, so I could focus on making things that I like to do. So I really don't. I don't regret leaving my job. At some point, I think I kind of regret staying as long as I did. But I did enjoy the relationships I built with the staff and with the kids there. Like watching kids grow it's such a cool experience, especially at that age. At all ages, you kind of see your personalities grow and things like that. So that's probably the biggest thing I'll miss, but I don't regret leaving. Figuring out what you want. Yeah, I think that's the hardest part no one really talks about, is you're stepping into a world that you don't really know much about, and you're trying to figure out, I see people living life this way. Do I want that? And if it's a no, then you try to figure out, what do you want? I think that's the hardest part. We make so many decisions every day of, I want this, I want that, I want this, I don't like that. That's kind of like what you have to do creatively too. You have to figure out what you like and what you don't like, because when you don't like something, that's really obvious. But if you don't know if you don't like something, as per se, like if you don't like posting day in the life videos, if you don't like posting get ready with me's, if you don't like posting tech videos, if you don't like doing gardening, if you don't like, once you figure out that stuff, it kind of whittles down what lanes do you like to like, what do you like to do. I think that is the hardest part, is like figuring out, what do you want? It seems like a simple question, and for some people it is simple. Some have been dreaming about being YouTubers. They've dreamt about being doctors since they were kids, but like the vast majority, we're all just figuring it out. And to be honest, like I'm starting full-time content creation, and I'm about to be 32 in October. So do I feel like I'm late in life? Sometimes. I do feel like I may have, if I would have started earlier, who knows where I would have been, especially when I started posting videos on YouTube. I think that was back in like 2018, 2019. So if I would have been more serious about that 7-8 years ago, who knows where my life would be. But at the same time, where my life has gone this far, it's like, okay, cool. I've lived enough life where I'm okay with where I'm at. So it's never too late to start, but the hardest part is being in that second option, because what's that quote? The best time to plant a tree was 200 years ago. The second best time is right now. So a lot of times we don't want to live in that second place. We don't want to live in the right now. We're constantly, well, I should have done this, or I'm sorry, You don't want to get caught up in the prior when you should have started. You want to focus on the right now. What can you do right now? What can you do today to help get you a step closer to where you could see yourself? And what's nice is just talk about what you want. Talk to other creators to see what they like and see how they've grown and see how they got there, and just ask for advice, because 85% of the time people will respond. I know that there's sometimes I've reached out to creators and they're just busy, and also like I'm not at the point where like I'm serious, because their time is precious just as my time is precious. So you want to constantly focus on what can you do right now, and just make a decision. Making a decision is probably the hardest thing you can do, and you don't want to wait, because living life with regrets is probably the last thing you want to do. And that's pretty much what has been on my mind after this first month of content creation and just trying to figure things out, is just be honest with myself and make decisions to get closer to buying back time so I can spend time with my friends and my family. And that's most important to me right now. So that's where this is going. I got a lot of good projects in the pipeline that'll be coming up within the next couple months. So I'm gonna try to keep some of these recaps. They may not be every month, but whenever I can, I will definitely want to talk and just sit and chat, and let me know what you guys are working on. What do you want to do? Where are you at? Like, are you trying to make a decision? Are you stuck with something? Like, I know, like, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one trying to figure things out. So I would like to build this community and just to make sure that we all got some support. So it's your boy Groovy Foo. I'm gonna hot you later. Much love. Peace.